2 days later, at William's mansion, sunlight filters through the tall windows of the mansion's main lounge, where all the housemates have been summoned by Barrister Tunde. After a relatively calm first day, aside from the dramatic gathering and Auntie Moson's instruction, tensions have been simmering beneath the surface. Now, everyone senses something is about to happen. Barrister Tunde stands at attention with a slim folder in hand. He is flanked by Mrs. Adeola Banjo, a stern-faced woman in a navy skirt suit. His legal associate brought to help oversee the complex process. Adeola holds a clipboard and seems all business. Seated on the plush couches and chairs are the Williams clan and the new arrivals. Folake and her 3 children occupy one sofa like a united front. On another couch sit Femi and Tosin, with Femi tapping her nails impatiently on the armrest. Aisha and her mother Zainab share a love seat, Zainab offering a supportive pat to Aisha's knee. Chukwuma takes an armchair by himself, hands folded tightly, the picture of nervous hope. Mama Yemi, ostensibly just the chef, quietly wheels in a tea trolley to serve the brave Regis. But she takes her time, eyes and ears open to witness the proceedings firsthand. Tunde clears his throat. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for gathering promptly. I trust you all are doing well, or as well as can be expected. His polite nod acknowledges the awkwardness. A few murmured good mornings reply. Folake sits extra straight, arms crossed, clearly impatient to hear what is next. Kunle yawns. He was up late scrolling through social media gossip about their situation. Leaks have started online to his annoyance. Bayo sits back, sips black coffee, gaze unwavering on the lawyer. Tope folds her hands in her lap, bracing herself. Tunde continues. As you know, Chief Williams' will reading will occur at the end of the 30-day period post his passing. We are currently on the day 3 of that period. Chief left specific instructions for this interim month that I am here to convey to you today. He flips open the folder. Everyone leans in, listening intently. First, as already discussed, all individuals recognized as Chief's children are required to reside on the Williams estate for the duration until the will is read. This is for family bonding and observation. He glances up to the reactions. Femi rolls her eyes. Clearly, she would rather not bond beyond necessity. Folake's expression remains neutral, but her fingers tightens on her arm. Bayo and Kunle looked resigned. Aisha and Chukwuma exchanged a cautious look. Tunde continues. Secondly, and this may answer some of your questions about how to occupy the time. Chief has assigned specific tasks or goals to each of his recognized children to be completed or at least significantly undertaken during this period. A ripple of surprises goes through the room, even though some suspected something like this might happen. Tasks? This is more orchestrated than a simple waiting game. To ensure fairness and focus, Tunde adds, Chief also stipulated a general rule that we apply to everyone. If any one of his children fails to participate in their task in good faith or causes another to fail, it could affect their share of the inheritance. He looks around sternly. In other words, sabotage or non-compliance might cost you. So, it is in everyone's interest to see each other complete their tasks. Kunle blurts out, wait, so if one of us messes up, we all lose money? Or just that person loses? The worry in his voice is evident. He was already calculating his odds of outshining the others, but a collective penalty changes things. Adeola, the associate, speaks up crisply. The will hints that non-compliance by any child could empower the executor to redistribute that share at their discretion. It doesn't automatically penalize everyone. but it leaves room for adjustment. So indirectly, yes, it could affect total pots and individual shares. To be safe, assume it's a group project. Tunde amplifies with a thin smile. He wanted unity after all. Femi snorts. This is like some reality TV challenge. Did my dear Adewale think this was Big Brother or what? She muters, echoing Kunle's day one joke. Tosin nudges her, whispering, Mom, please, stop. Folake raises a hand. Let's hear the task first, shall we? She says it calmly, but there is a tremor of irritation. She's a woman used to being in control, and this puppet master flew from beyond the grave, or so she thinks, is grating. Tunde nods and adjusts his papers. Alright, I will read each child's name and their respective task as outlined by Chief Williams. We can discuss details after. He takes a deep breath and reads the first name. Adebayo Williams. Bayo sits up. Hearing his full name in this formal tone sends a shiver through him, like hearing his father's voice giving an order, even though it's Tunde speaking. Tunde reads, Adebayo, as the oldest son, you have pursued a career in music. Your father was proud of your passion but worried about its sustainability and your commitment to family responsibilities. Your task is, within the next month, organize a charity benefit concert in Chief Williams' memory, bringing the family together in the effort. Proceeds will go to a charity of your choice that reflects the Williams family values. Bayo's eyes widen. A charity concert in a month? That's a huge undertaking. He's thrown concerts and shows before, but usually with a lot of planning and months of prep. Doing it while grieving and juggling family drama, he can already feel a headache. Tope cast him an encouraging glance. That's actually a good idea. She says softly, You can do that, Bayo. Bayo swallows. Yeah, I'll try. The prospect is daunting, but also something he cares about. Perhaps his father remembered how he once talked about starting a music outreach charity for kids. A dream deferred as he chased fame. Maybe Dad did pay attention. He feels a twinge of emotion but shakes it off. Tunde continues. This means you will need to plan venue, performers, promoters, and all that. So you collaborate with any siblings who wishes to help. The concert is meant to be held just before the real reading date. Bayo nods slowly, already mind racing through contacts. Which artist friends owe me favors? Could I get the new arena or maybe a hotel hall? Next, Tunde announces, Temitope Williams. Tope inhales sharply. She grasps her notepad. Of course, she brought one, ever the organizer. Temitope as the only daughter and one with entrepreneurial pursuits. Your father was concerned about your resilience after business setbacks. Your task, relaunch your fashion business on a small scale during this month, using only the resources and seed capital provided in a locked trust, which we have details for. You must demonstrate a visible plan or small event showcasing your work by month's end. Tope's heart flutters with equal parts excitement and anxiety. Relaunch my business now? How? She almost can't believe it. She had tearfully closed her boutique, Temi's Designs, just 5 months ago after accumulating debt. Her father had bailed her out partially, but insisted she learn from the failure. So he wants her to retry again, but in a controlled way. She immediately wonders, what seed capital? How much? Adeola seems to read her mind. There is an account earmarked for you with a modest sum to use as startup funds. Modest by Williams standards. That is, the exact figure can be provided to you privately, but don't expect millions of dollars. It's enough to test a small project. Tope flushes, a bit embarrassed that her finances are basically being publicly talked about. But she's determined. I understand. Yes, I can do that. Maybe organize a trunk show or a pop-up sale. I'll make something work. Already, creative wheels turn. She glances at Aisha, noticing the pretty embroidered scarf Aisha wears. Maybe she could collaborate. For instance, designing modest fashion. She tucks the idea away. Tunde smiles lightly at her eagerness. Good. Now, Olakunle Williams. Kunle flinches hearing his full name, rarely used unless he's in trouble. He puts on a cocky half smile to mask nerves. Kunle, as the youngest son of the main household, your father worried most about you. He felt you've been living beyond your means and not understanding the value of hard work or honesty. Kunle's face falls slightly. It stinged because it's true, and hearing it said out loud in front of everyone, including these half-siblings, is humiliating. He shifts uncomfortably. Your task is live on a strict budget and contribute to society in a meaningful way. Specifically, you will be given a modest weekly stipend equivalent to an average Nigerian middle-class income. With it, you must manage your expenses and also volunteer at least twice a week at a community organization in Lagos during this month. At the end, a report from the organization on your participation will be expected, as well as your own account of what you learned living without luxury. A short silence. Kunle's mouth opens then closes. It's like being put on an allowance and forced to do community service, something a strict parent might do to a wayward teen. Except he's 25, and it is posthumous. It rises to his cheeks. This is punishment, he mutters. Folake gently touches his shoulder, a rare gesture of comfort. She too looks displeased on his behalf, but holds her tongue. Bayo can't resist a tiny smirk. The irony of Kunle forced into frugality is rich. Kunle catches it and scowls. Shut up, Bayo. Tunde intervenes smoothly. Think of it as an opportunity, Kunle. A chance to connect with how ordinary people live and maybe do some good. Your father believed you had a good heart underneath and wanted you to discover humility and purpose. Kunle just hops and slumps in his seat. Arms crossed, but inside, he feels a prick of guilt. Dad really saw through him. Maybe I can actually do it. He thinks reluctantly. How hard can living on a budget be for a month? He is in for a surprise. Tunde moves on. Now, for our other attendees, Tosin Adekunle. Tosin sits up straight, surprised he has a task too, being just a teenager, still in secondary school. His mother, Femi, eyes Tunde warily. Tosin, though you are younger and still in school, Chief didn't exempt you. Your task is focus on your academics and future. You will enroll in a preparatory tutoring program for the upcoming university entrance exam, JAMB, and explore one extracurricular talent in this month. Tosin blinks. That's not too bad. More like fatherly guidance than a challenge. Basically, study and do some talent activity, he clarifies quietly. Adeola responds, looking at documents. Chief arranged for a private tutor to come twice a week to the estate to coach you in any subject you need help with. Also, he noticed you have an interest in art from what your mother mentioned to him. So perhaps you could take an art class or create a piece to present by month end. Something to nurture your talents beyond academics. Femi relaxes a touch, hearing it nothing humiliating. She even notes, Tosin manages a small smile. Yes, I like to draw. I can do that, thank you. Next, Aisha Idris. Tunde continues. Aisha, who had been listening supportively to others, now stiffens hearing her name. Aisha, your father regretted not being in your life more. He knew you are hardworking and kind-hearted. Your task is twofold. Connect with your heritage and aspirations. Specifically, he wanted you to spend time with your paternal family members to learn about the Williams heritage and Yoruba culture, since you grew up away from it. Additionally, he allocated a small fund for you to start whatever next step you wanted, be it a master's program,
a business, or a project. By month end, you should present a plan for how you will use that fund to advance your future, reflecting that you understood both sides of your family. Aisha's eyes filled with tears unexpectedly. This task is personal and kind. He wanted her to feel part of the Williams family, their cultural connection, and to jumpstart her dreams. She had been secretly considering applying for a master's in public health, but lacked funds. Could this be her chance? She nods, voice a little shaky. I'll do that, thank you. Zainab squeezes her hand, smiling through her own emotion. Folake observes Aisha's emotional response with a slightly softened gaze. Perhaps the girl truly is just a gentle soul wanting acceptance. She muses silently. Tunde smiles warmly at Aisha. If you need any introductions to extended family or cultural guidance, I'm sure Mrs. Williams and her children can assist. He looks to Folake, who gives a curt nod of assent, not wanting to appear uncooperative publicly. Moving on, Chukwuma Okeke. Chukwuma holds his breath. He has been quietly overjoyed just to be acknowledged as a son. A task might mean his father actually thought of him as family, enough to set one. Chukwuma, your case is unique, as you were never integrated into the Williams household. Chief felt remorse about that. He wanted to ensure you have a fair shot in life. Your task: complete an internship at Williams Tech Limited, one of Chief's companies, for this 1 month period to gain experience and connections for your engineering career. Also, to spend time getting to know your siblings. By the end of the month, you will be asked to present something you learned or contributed at work, and to share something you learned about family. Chukwuma breaks into a smile. Internship at Williams Tech? That's huge. It's a well-known engineering firm under Williams Holdings. This could actually help his career tremendously, beyond whatever inheritance. Yes, I would love that opportunity, he says, unable to hide his enthusiasm. He glances at the Williams siblings, hoping they don't object to him stepping into their father's company. Bayo and Tope both gave him a small polite smile. No objection. Neither of them are involved in the company themselves, so it's not threatening to them. Tunde nods. We've already spoken to the company's HR. You can start next Monday. They will treat you like any other intern, so be prepared to work hard. Chukwuma nods eagerly. Finally, Tunde's face grows a bit more serious. Those are the individual tasks given to each of you by Chief Williams. There is one more condition, a sort of group task. During this month, the entire family is expected to organize a 1 month memorial event for Chief Williams, which coincides roughly with the end of the period. This will be a sort of celebration of life, where presumably Bayo's concert could serve or be part of it, and perhaps Tope's fashion showcase. It's an all-in-hand event, meaning everyone should contribute in some way. So the tasks aren't isolated. They interlink at the end. The concert and fashion show might tie into the memorial. The volunteering or cultural learning could be showcased too. It's like Chief made an elaborate web to force them to interact and work towards a common end goal, honoring him and indirectly bonding. Folake speaks up now, voice tight but controlled. Barrister, this is all quite a lot to process. My children and I will, of course, do our utmost to fulfill Adewale's wish. But let me clarify. If someone fails their task, are you implying their inheritance is forfeit completely? Tunde chooses his words. It's not automatically forfeit, but it gives the executor, which is technically me, until the will execution, discretion. For example, if Kunle here refuses to do his volunteering and blows his money on parties instead, I could recommend that his portion be held in a trust with conditions rather than given outright, or something of that nature. Chief wanted to encourage growth, not punishment, but he didn't want his efforts ignored. Kunle sighed dramatically. So basically, I play along or I lose out. Got it. Zainab raises her gentle hand. Excuse me, please. What about us mothers? Aisha's and mine. Are we supposed to do anything? It's a fair question. They aren't children, but are here. Tunde smiles at her cautiously. Mrs. Idris, Mrs. Adekunle, Chief did not assign tasks to you. However, you are welcome to assist your children or the household in any way comfortable. You are here as support for them. There is no requirement for you to remain the whole month if you choose otherwise, but I suspect you would want to stay close. Femi pipes up. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I would be around to ensure things go right. She eyes Folake with that, indicating she's watching out for foul play. Folake ignores the look, and living arrangement remains the same. I presume they stay in the guest houses. We are in the main house. Yes, Adeola confirms, unless Mrs. Williams you choose to invite anyone into the main house, but that's at your discretion. However, for tasks or meetings, naturally everyone may use common areas like the lounge, study, under supervision of course, gardens. Femi smiles. Don't worry, we won't invade your precious bedrooms. A quick glare from Folake, but she sets it aside. Focus on big picture. Tunde wraps up. I'll provide each of you with a written brief of your task and any necessary resources or contacts. I'll be checking in on progress, but I won't micromanage. There will be interim check-ins, let's say at the 2-week mark, to ensure things are on track. He closes the folder. Any questions? Silence as everyone absorbs the mandate. There is uncertainty, but also a strange sense of purpose in the air, like a direction has been given to their chaotic gathering. Chukwuma raises a hand slightly. So, do we have to report to you if we need help, or do we just go ahead and do these things? Adeola responds, you should feel free to arrange things yourself within legal bounds. For example, Tope, you can use the seed money as you see fit to hire a few tailors or buy fabrics. Just keep receipts, as we will want to see how it was used. Bayo, you can coordinate with any event planners or do it yourself. We can provide some logistical support contacts if needed because of the timeline. Also, we will reimburse any reasonable expenses needed for the memorial event from the estate funds, separate from personal task funds. Bayo nods. That's helpful. He was already thinking he might need to dip into personal savings otherwise. No one else voices further questions aloud, though in each person's mind a storm of thought brew. Folake thought, a month of this, can I endure? At least, if this shouldn't succeed, our claim remains strong. But what if those outsiders end up looking better in this test? Will Adewale's will favor them? I need to ensure my children shine, because Bayo in his thoughts. Concert. I need big names. Maybe I can get that old friends or notable figures and incorporate a tribute. Perhaps I will even ask Emeka if he knows any Eastern cultural tropes. Could diversify it. Yes. Then in Tope's mind, she thought, I have to be smart with that seed money. Maybe focus on a capsule collection. Just a few outfits. Aisha seems interested in fashion. Maybe I can rope her in as a model or advisor on conservative designs. I also need to contact my old tailor friend Yinka. Then in Kule's mind, he thinks, oh my god, this sucks. But maybe it won't be so bad to chill for a month. Volunteer, where? Some NGO, maybe an orphanage or a youth center. I guess I will find something. And how low a stipend are we talking? 100,000 naira a week? Or 50,000 naira a week? I hope not too low. In Tosi's mind, she thought, I'm basically being told to study, which I should do anyway. And I get to do art. Maybe I can finally finish that painting I started of Dad. No, Mr. Williams. From the one photo I had, that would be something to show. In Aisha's mind, he cares that I learn about Yoruba side. Should I ask Auntie Mosu or Folake about family history? Maybe I will visit father's hometown. And the fund, how much could it be? There I hope enough for UK tuition. Focus first. Plan. Chukwuma in his mind. He thought, this is golden. But I hoped to prove myself worthy. If I impress at Williams Tech, maybe they will hire me after graduation. And I should get to know these siblings. Bayo Kunle seems okay when not antagonized. Tope is nice. I should maybe ask Bayo if I can help with the concert tech stuff. That might earn points and count as getting to know them. After the pause, Tunde gives a concluding nod. If there are no further questions, we will take our leave. Remember, I and Adeola will drop by periodically. We are rooting for you all to succeed. This is an unconventional scenario, but trust that Chief Williams had his reasons. He looks especially at Folake with that last line, as if to say, don't be too angry. He meant well. Folake's face is unreadable. As Tunde and Adeola depart, the room remains quiet until the front door shuts behind them. Then, as if a spell is lifted, multiple conversations break out at once. Kunle exclaims, this is crazy, man. I have to volunteer. Doing what? Teaching children? Cleaning gutters? He runs a hand over his hair, stress evident. Tope responds, there are many NGOs, Kunle. Maybe something with sports for kids, since you like sports cars so much. She teases gently to lighten his mood. Bayo stands, already testing on his phone. I need to make some calls. Might as well start lining up artists now. A month is nothing in event planning. He heads towards the study, the only place with a proper desk and computer he might use. Femi stands up as well, eyeing Folake. Well, Folake, looks like we will be sticking around. I'm sure you are thrilled. Her tone is belittling. Since our kids have to do tasks, you won't try to make life hard for them, will you? Folake rises, maintaining poise. I will follow my husband's wishes to the letter. I won't interfere, as long as everyone behaves. Perhaps worry about yourself, Femi. If Tosin fails his studies because you are distracting him with gossip, that will be on you. Femi steps forward, voice rising. I don't need parenting advice from you. You think I don't know how to raise my son? If Adewale had spent more time with him. Mommy, please, don't. Tosi talks at her, embarrassed. He looks at Folake. Ma, thank you for letting us stay. I promise, I will do my part. The polite boy tries to diffuse the brewing fight. Folake just gives a curt nod and turns away, ending the confrontation. She addresses her children. We should convene privately to strategize. Upstairs. 10 minutes. That sounds almost like a CEO calling a board meeting. She leaves the lounge area, presumably to her room first. Tope and Kunle follows, but Tope pauses to gently touch Aisha's arm. I would love to show you some Yoruba culture stuff later. If you want, maybe we can go to the craft market, or I can teach you a few Yoruba phrases I use in design motifs. Also, maybe I can get your input on some fashion ideas. I have to restart my business and I recall you liked my outfit. Aisha brightens at Tope's kindness. Oh yes, I would really like that. Thank you. Tope smiles and nods, then heads off. Now, it's just the outsiders and Mama Yemi, still pretending to fuse with tea things but obviously listening. Femi crosses her arms, looking at Zainab and the kids. Well, I have to say, Adewale planned to keep us busy. At least he didn't ask something impossible of Tosin. Zainab nods politely. It could have been worse, and it seems all these tasks kind of tie into that memorial event. Perhaps if we work together, it will be easier. Femi raises an eyebrow, not entirely sold on working together, unless it benefits her, but she admits, I suppose if Tope's fashion show and Bayo's concert align, it might be grandeur. Strength in numbers. She then looks at Aisha and Chukwuma. I don't know what you two bring to the table. Aisha, they want you to learn culture, which is fine. And Chukwuma, you will be off at some company most days. Chukwuma shrugged and naturally not rising to the slight. I will still be around evenings and weekends, and I want to help wherever I can. Maybe I can assist Bayo's concert with technical setup or volunteering with Kule. I don't know. I'm open. His genuine willingness is disarming. Aisha adds, I would like to help too. Perhaps with the memorial planning, or if Tope needs help organizing her showcase, I could also help coordinate something with our different cultural backgrounds. Like a display of that heritage, both Yoruba and maybe contributions from mom's side and others. It could make the memorial richer. Zainab smiles proudly at her daughter's inclusive attitude. Femi looks at Aisha with a slight new appraisal, grudgingly impressed by her poise. You are quite sensible, aren't you? Well, don't let Folake steamroll your ideas. Speak up, okay? Aisha nods, a bit surprised by Femi's almost compliment. Mama Yemi, having heard enough, cheerily stepped forward with the tea tray. Chai, anyone? It's a lot to take in. Something will calm the nerves, she says with a motherly grin. She pours a cup for whoever wants. Zainab gladly takes one. She's a tea lover. And even Femi relents and takes a cup. Nutrin, why not? The group disperses gradually after that. Bayo is already on phone calls in the study. We see him excitedly greeting a friend. Yo, TJ, I need a favor. Big concert in 3 weeks. You in? Tope and her brothers meet upstairs in a private conference of their own. We might catch a snippet of them dividing their task. Tope offers to help Kunle find a suitable NGO through her contacts. Kunle says he will help her too, maybe with male fashion ideas. Bayo barges in, excited mid-call, to say one sponsor is interested. Femi and Tosin retreat to their chalet, where she immediately starts contacting a tutor she knows to compare with the one offered, wanting the best for her son. Zainab and Aisha go for a walk in the garden discussing Yoruba customs. Zainab knows some since she lived in Lagos years back, and what Aisha might propose to do with the fund. Zainab encourages her about the master's ideas. Chukwuma, feeling eager, goes to find Bayo or maybe Kunle to offer help. He finds Kunle after the siblings meeting and awkwardly offers, hey, so if you need a body for volunteering, I'm happy to join. Could help get things done faster. Kunle, surprised, shrugged. Sure man, thanks. It's a small positive exchange. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Mama Yemi takes a break from her cover duties and pulls out the phone again. She tests. Task delivered. Reactions mixed but all engaged. Plan in motion. Why? 1 week later, the sun dips low over Lagos, casting an orange glow that reflects off the glass of tall buildings and the gentle waves of the lagoon. The Williams Estate, located in the upscale Ikoyi area, is a relative oasis of calm compared to the bustling city beyond its gates. But inside, preparations for the charity concert are in full swing, and calm is hardly the word to describe it. It's been a week since the task we are assigned. Adebayo, Bayo Williams, has thrown himself into organizing the memorial charity concert with gusto and a fair bit of chaos. Once Chief's private sanctum, the study had become Bayo's command center. The large mahogany desk is strewn with notebooks, his laptop, flyers, drafts, and a big whiteboard brought in at his request, covered in scribbles, artists lined up, ideas, dates to-do list, sponsors to call. Bayo sits behind the desk, phone pressed to one ear, while his other hand types rapidly on the laptop. He's wearing a Bluetooth earpiece to juggle multiple calls and tasks. Papers are scattered everywhere, organized chaos. On the couch nearby sits Chukwuma, who volunteered to assist Bayo after finishing his own intern work each day, still in his slightly dusty shirt, from the construction site visit he did at Williams Tech that afternoon. Chukwuma now holds a notepad, acting as Bayo's unofficial personal assistant and tech support. He is surprisingly good at it, taking notes, sending follow-up emails as Bayo's dictates, and even suggesting a few logistics ideas. Bayo's voice filled the room. Yes, I understand. The date is short notice, but trust me, Kingsley, this is going to be the talk of Lagos. No, the whole country. A whole tribute to Chief Williams, big press coverage, and for charity. You don't want to be the one Fuji artist not there, do you? He grins, working his industry charm. After a pause, he winks at Chukwuma as he gets the response he wants. Fantastic! I know you would see the vision. Okay, my guy, we'll send you details. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. He hangs up and fist pumps. Got him! King Wasiu has agreed to perform a Fuji medley. Chukwuma notes it down excitedly. He's learning a lot about the entertainment scene from Bayo. That's great. That covers the traditional music segments nicely. We have Afropop, R&B, gospel, and now Fuji. He ticks off on his pad. Yup, star-studded. Bayo says, leaning back briefly. Let's see, we got Davido's guitarist and band to back up the younger artist. We got that comedian Ali B to host, he confirmed yesterday, and a couple of Nollywood celebs will attend for clout. I just need one more big female artist to round it off. He quickly scrolls through his contacts. Tiwa, she's in Dubai for a gig. No, Yemi Alade, possibly free. I'll try her manager next. Chukwuma hesitates and then suggests, what about including a family element, like maybe one of you siblings does a short performance or something to personalize it? You play any instruments? Bayo chuckles. I produce music. I rarely perform. Kunle can't sing to save his life. Tope maybe could give a speech. Actually, maybe Tope can do a little fashion showcase in the middle, like a mini runway tribute to Dad. Tie it into her task too. Chukwuma nods. That's a good idea. It will highlight her work and break the event up nicely. Try. I'll pitch it into her. She'll be busy with her designs anyway. Bayo scribbles a note to talk to Tobe about merging her showcase with the concert program. Just then, Kunle barges into the study, carrying an open bag of plantain chips he's munching. He's dressed in simple jeans and a t-shirt these days. No more designer wear thanks to his budget task. Despite the casual look, he has an air of frustration. Bro, I need the car keys. I have to head to Suleri tonight. Bayo looks up. Suleri? For what? Kule flops into a chair, crunching chips. Volunteering. There is this youth center there I found. They do evening programs for street kids. And I promised I would come twice a week. And today's section, I'm supposed to help coach their football practice. If I'm late, the coordinator will mark me down. And you know I can't mess this up or I'm screwed. Bayo fishes in his pocket and tosses Kunle the keys to one of their father's car. They've worked out a schedule to share since Kunle can't hire drivers or Ubers freely on his tight budget. Part of his lesson. Don't wreck it. And be back by 10. We have a family meeting then. Kunle rolls his eyes. Yes, Mom. He mocks slightly, then sighs. This volunteer stuff is actually not terrible, you know. The kids, they are rough, but they are kind of cool. They call me Coach K. He says it with a faint grin of pride. Bayo raises an eyebrow, pleasantly surprised at his brother's softening. Look at you making a difference. Dad would be proud, he says, partially sincere, partially teasing. Yeah. See you later. Kule stands, then points at Chukwuma. Hey, thanks again for hooking me up with that NGO contact. Your friends at Williams Tech who knew the place, right? It helped. Chukwuma smiles. No problem, glad it worked out. As Kunle leaves, Chukwuma watches him and remarks to Bayo. He's coming around, I think. Bayo shrugs. Maybe. Anyway, back to this lineup. He dials another number. Time to sweet talk Yemi Alade's manager. In the guest chalet that same evening, Aisha sits at a small desk, LED lamp on. writing notes on a document titled Plan for Future. MPH programs versus business idea. She has spent weeks juggling her cultural immersion and planning for her future fund usage. Earlier today, she went with Tope and Mama Yemi to Balogun Market to buy fabrics and learn about Yoruba textiles. A vibrant experience where she even tried haggling in Yoruba phrases Tope taught her, to everyone's amusement. She has also started reading a book of Yoruba proverbs Aunty Mosu dropped off after her initial brash visit. Mosu warmed up and gladly became Aisha's culture tutor in exchange for all the juicy family gossip, an arrangement Folake only tolerates because it keeps Mosu busy. Now, though Aisha is in planning mode, she writes pros and cons, masters in public health, pro, fulfills dreams, potential scholarship with that fund bridging gaps, con, with need to relocate to UK for a year versus start a community health NGO in Lagos, pro, immediate impact, con, need experienced partners. Zainab enters carrying 2 cups of steaming pepper soup she made in the shared kitchen net. Take a break there, she says, placing a cup by Aisha. You have been at this for hours. Aisha smiles gracefully. Thanks, Mama. She sips the spicy broth, letting it clear her head a bit. I just want to make the right choice. Father, he believed in me enough to set aside money. I can't waste it. Zainab sits on the bed, and you won't. The fact that you are taking it seriously shows that. Think about it. Pray on it. There is still time before you have to present the plan. Aisha nods. True. How are you doing, Mama? I know it's been strange living here. Zainab chuckles. Strange, yes, but I've enjoyed seeing you interact with your siblings. Tope is a lovely girl. She took me along to her church women meeting yesterday. That was lively. She smiles, recalling the boisterous Yoruba Women's Fellowship. Quite different from her quiet mosque gatherings, but she felt welcome. And have you talked more with her, Mrs. Williams? Aisha asked carefully. Zainab's smile dims a little. Not much. We exchange pleasantries, but I give her space. It's awkward, you know. I represent part of her husband's betrayals in her eyes. I don't blame her for keeping distance. Perhaps in time she will soften. Aisha says hopefully. At least, she hasn't been hostile to me. A bit distant, but she did sit with me yesterday to explain the significances of some family photo albums. Yes, that was a surprising moment. Folake had found Aisha in the library looking at albums and proceeded to narrate who was who. Perhaps partly from pride in her lineage, partly empathy seeing the girl's genuine interest. It was civil, even warm for a moment. Zainab pats her daughter's hand, one step at a time. For now, focus on your part. Aisha closes her notebook. I think I will draft a proposal for the MPH idea tonight. Then think more tomorrow. Also, I should probably join the others. There is a meeting later about the memorial event. Yes, Mama Yemi mentioned at dinner. There is a planning meeting at 10. I'll come too if they allow, or at least watch from behind. She winks. They share a light laugh, finishing their soup as the night deepens. The Williams Mansion roof terrace at 8 p.m. A flat, spacious roof terrace overlooks the estate and city lights beyond. Tonight, it's being used as a rehearsal space for one of the concert acts, Tosin and a few local teenage performers he roped in from his school. Apparently, Tosin's explore a talent. Task led him to review his quite good at spoken word sportly and even rapping a bit. When Bayo heard, he insisted Tosin perform something at the concert. Initially shy, Tosin agreed after encouragement from Mama Yemi and surprising support from Folake, who remarked that it would be nice to see the youth in the family contribute. So here he is, on the terrace, practicing a spoken word rap piece he wrote in tribute to Chief Williams. 2 school friends, a boy to beatbox, a girl to sing a refrain, accompanying him. Mama Yemi stands by with a tray of cold drinks. cheering them on in her jovial way. Tosin surprisingly transformed when performing, recites with passion. And the city of Lagos, a legend did rise. Chief Williams, they called him, wise in our eyes. He built an empire, but more than the gold, he left stories and lessons in our hearts to hold. We gather here now, children of his blood and name. Some knew him well, some knew only his fame. In death he unites us to see what we will do. Testing loyalty, love. Are we false or true? We thought wealth was the treasure, but we are finding instead. The family we've gained is worth more than bread. He continues, voice steady, words resonant. The other keys beat a rhythm and sing a soft hook. Chief Williams, can you see us now? In the background, it's raw but heartfelt. When the piece ends, Mama Yemi claps enthusiastically. Wonderful! That was beautiful, Tosin. Chief himself would dance in his grave hearing that. The singing girl Kemi gushes. Tosin, that's so deep. I'm sure they will love it at the show. I'm nervous though, performing at a big event. Tosin smiles, a bit bashful, now that practice is done. You will do great, Kemi. Your voice is awesome. And Dayo, your beatboxing was on point. His bears grins, feeling so excited. Mama Yemi hands them drinks. You all take 5. More biscuits downstairs if you want. The teens thank her and head down, chattering about possibly seeing some famous musicians at the event. Later that night, at 10 p.m., everyone gathered for the memorial family planning meeting. By now, everyone is somewhat more comfortable in each other's presence, at least enough to gather without exploding. The living room has been arranged with chairs in a loose circle. Notably, Folake sits at the head of the circle. Naturally presiding Barrister Tunde is also present tonight for a check-in, sitting off to the side with his notebook, observing the progress. On the coffee table, Tope has laid out sketches and an event program draft, also beautifully calligraphed, typical of her. Bayo has a spreadsheet of budget and lineup on his tablet. It feels like corporate meeting and a family chat rolled into one. Mama Yemi and her helper serve small chops, mini samosas, spring rolls, and suyas, and Chapman drinks to keep everyone agreeable. Folake opens the meeting with a diplomatic tone. Thank you all for coming. We are halfway through the allocated month. The 1-month memorial event is in 10 days, just before the will reading. We need to finalize our plan and ensure everyone's contributions are integrated. She sounds like a project manager, which in a sense she is by necessity. Bayo jumps in. The concert segment is shaping up well. I've got commitments from about 8 performers. Venue will be Eco Convention Center. They had a cancellation, so we got lucky. He nods at Tunde. Thanks for grazing those wheels. Tunde smiles. Likely he used some estate influence to secure the venue. I've arranged some equipment, stage design, all that. Bayo continues. Chukuma here has been a huge help coordinating with vendors. Chukuma, sitting modestly by a corner, waves a hand. Just making calls, no big deal. Folake interjects. And the cost? We must keep an eye on the expenses. Bayo, this is for charity, but let's not be reckless. Bayo quickly responds, I have sponsors. 2 banks and 1 telecom company agreed to cover a majority of expenses in exchange for brand visibility. So, net cost to the estate is minimal, and ticket proceeds plus donations on grants will all go to charity. He shows his tablet summary. Folake scans it, impressed in spite of herself. Good, very efficient. Tobe beams at her brother. Wow, Bayo, you've really done well. Bayo tilts his head, acknowledging the praise. It's possibly the first time in a while he's had genuine admiration from his mother, and it feels good. Next, Tope stands, ever the presenter. I have put together a fashion tribute as part of the evening. I'll be showcasing a mini collection of 5 outfits inspired by Chief. She points to sketches on a board she set up. The others look the design cleverly, incorporate elements of Chief's style, flowing agbada patterns modernized, accent of his company logo, motif. I plan to have models wear them during one of the breaks between musical acts. Actually, we are thinking during the mid-event pause right after Tosin's spoken word piece. She nods to Tosin. Tosin smiles shyly. Yeah, I wrote a poem. I will perform it with a couple of my friends as backup. Kunle, sipping a Chapman, adds jokingly, "It's actually good. Kid got bars. A week ago, he might have teased the illegitimate kid, but now he's treating Tosin more like a younger brother figure, even giving him pointers on stage presence earlier." Femi, sitting protectively beside Tosin, smiles proudly at that. She's been quiet so far, not entirely sure how to contribute, but clearly pleased her son is included. Tunde, taking notes, remarks, "This sounds like it's coming together remarkably. Chief would be pleased." Folake then turns to Aisha. "And you, dear, you mentioned perhaps doing something at the memorial." Aisha, not expecting to be addressed formally, sits up. "Oh, I don't have a performance or anything, but I've been creating a sort of photo slideshow of Chief's life, with help from Mommy, I mean Mrs. Williams," she corrects respectfully, and Folake gives a tiny approving smile at Mommy's slip. And Auntie Mosun, we dug up old photos, even a short video message from some relatives abroad. I thought it could play on screens during the event or at start to set a reflective mood. Tope clapped slightly. "That's wonderful. I love that idea. Buy your notes. Yes, that's perfect for opening. We can play it right after the welcome address." At mention of welcome address, an awkward pause. Who will speak officially? After a moment, Folake says, "I'll give the welcome speech as his widow. Unless, Femi, you had something planned." Her tone isn't hostile, more genuinely offering a chance. Femi, who normally would elbow into attention, shakes her head slowly. "No, that's fine. It's your right." Perhaps she realized that public optics matter. She is not about to position herself as equal to wife in a memorial. Or maybe a small part of her is just content to be included through her son rather than taking center stage. Folake inclines her head. A silent thank you for not making a tug of water progress, however slight. Kunle then reports, "Also, I have arranged for the kids from the youth center I volunteer at to attend the memorial concert. Many wouldn't have such an opportunity, so I got 30 tickets donated for them. They might even do a little cultural dance they've been practicing as a pre-show." This surprises many. Kunle went the extra mile unasked. Folake actually reached over and pat his hand. "Well done, son." He looked down to hide a pleased grin and mutters, "It was Chukwuma's idea too," acknowledging Chukwuma again. Chukwuma holds up a hand. "Don't mention." And from my side, some colleagues from Williams Tech and I will also volunteer as ushers or whatever is needed at the event. By now, Femi, who had been quietly observing all this cooperative energy, cannot help but feel slightly out of place. Everyone has a role. Even Zainab has offered to help coordinate catering for the memorial, since she's a great cook and organized some small events at her mosque. But Femi, she's not used to being on the sidelines. She clears her throat. "It seems everything is covered. Is there any area lacking? How about media coverage? Adewale would want the world to see this." Bayo responds, "Ah, good point. I have a contact at Channels TV. They agreed to cover it for the news, and some popular Instagram bloggers will be invited. But if you have connections, sure, more the merrier." Femi nods. "I know a journalist at the Punch. I'll get them to run a piece. Maybe an interview with someone from the family about Chief's legacy." She glances at Folake for approval. Folake actually smiles slightly. "That would be fine. We could designate you to speak to them if you like." A small shock passes. Folake offering Femi a voice to media. perhaps an olive branch, or just practicality that Femi loves to talk or let her. Either way, Femi accepts. Sure, I'll give them a good story. With that sorted, Tunde stands, concluding this is excellent and pleasantly surprised by the collaborations here. As the executor, I'm confident this memorial will both honor Chief Williams and demonstrate the unity he hoped for. He then adds, on the official side, I should inform you I have received the results of some paperwork chiefs had initiated. It's about legal recognition of paternity for those of you born outside the marriage. It's mostly a formality for the execution, but I might need as well tell you DNA test confirmed what is already assumed. Tosin, Aisha, Chukwuma, you indeed are biologically his. This information lands with a bit of weight. It's expected, yet hearing confirmed is emotional. Tosin's eyes widen. He's officially acknowledged, not that he doubted, because he resembles Chief in some ways, but still. Aisha has tears in her eyes, though she had little doubt given her mother's honesty. A part of her is relieved to be truly his blood, as it justifies her being here beyond any doubt. Chukwuma silently thanks God. He had feared a what-if scenario where his mom had been mistaken. Now he feels fully legitimate in this gathering. Femi, unusually, wipes a tear and smiles, hugging Tosin sideways. Zainab bows her head in silent gratitude. Even Folake nods stiffly. Facts are facts, and she won't dispute them. Kule murmurs to Bayo, at least none of them are fakes. Could have been messy if someone wasn't his. Bayo whispered back, yeah. Though honestly, I almost expected otherwise given that twisty mind. He indeed senses there might be a further twist, but shrugged it off for now. Tunde then closes. Alright, if there is nothing else, I'll be on hand day of event to help however needed. We will meet again just before the will reading. Keep up the good work, everyone. People begin to stand, stretch, and exchange lighter conversations. It's almost familiar. No yelling, no undercutting, just teamwork. Folake quietly thanks Zainab for her help with cultural research was Aisha. Zainab offers sincere condolences again for her loss in a gentle way, and Folake doesn't brace too. She just nods appreciatively. Tope excitedly shows Aisha and Femi a finished gown that arrived from the tailor. Femi surprisingly compliments it, saying that it's gorgeous. I would wear that. To which Tope, ever business-minded, grins. I'll make you one, Auntie Femi. Consider it a gift. Already cementing a future customer. Smart girl. Kule chats with Tosin about the latest PS5 game. He had lent Tosin one of his consoles, given he can't afford new games this month anyway, and they have been playing FIFA together some evenings. Barrister Tunde observes all this with a satisfied smile, then catches Mama Yemi's eye and gives her a subtle thumbs up. She returns a beaming grin and goes to gather empty glasses, humming cheerfully as always.